Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
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 Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
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 Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Caitanya-caritamrita, Adi-lila, Chapter 9, The Desire Tree of Devotional Service. Text number 6. Malakara Swayam Krishna Prema Marataru Swayam Data Bhakta Tattvaganam Yastam Chaitanyamasraye. I take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who himself is the tree of transcendental love of Krishna, its gardener and also the bestower and enjoyer of its fruits.
Jeder, der deutsche Übersetzung braucht, das Simon übersetzt. Am besten mit dem Badetür.
Deutsche Übersetzung. Prabhukaye Ami Vishwambanandari Nama Saktakaya Yadi Prema Vishwabari. Lord Chaitanya thought, my name is Vishwambara, one who maintains the entire universe. Its meaning will be actualized if I can fill the whole universe with love of God. Ecstatic Prabhu Malakaradharma Navadvipa Arambila Pralajana Karma. Thinking in this way, he accepted the duty of a planter and began to grow a garden in Navadvipa. Shri Chaitanya Malakar Prithivite Aye Bhakti Kalpataru Rupila Sinchit Chapani. Thus the Lord brought the desire tree of devotional service to this earth and became its gardener. He sowed the seed and sprinkled upon it the water of its will. Purport. In many places, devotional service has been compared to a creeper. One is to sow the seed of devotional service, bhakti-lata, within his heart. As he regularly hears and chants, the seed will fructify and gradually grow into a mature plant and then produce the fruit of devotional service, namely love of God, which the gardener, Malakar, can then enjoy without impediments. Jaya Sri Madhvapuri Krishna Prema Pura Bhakti Kalpatarutene Pratamankura. All glories to Sri Madhavendra Puri, the storehouse of all devotional service unto Krishna. He is the desire tree of devotional service, and it is in him that the seed of devotional service first fructified. Purport. Sri Madhavendra Puri, also known as Sri Madhava Puri, belonged to the disciplic succession of Madhvacharya and was a greatly celebrated sannyasi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the third disciplic descendant from Sri Madhavendra Puri. The process of worship in the disciplic succession of Madhvacharya was full of ritualistic ceremonies, with hardly a sign of love of God. Sri Madhavendra Puri was the first person in that disciplic succession to exhibit the symptoms of love of God and the first to write a poem beginning with the words, I Dinadayardanath, O supremely merciful personality of Godhead. In that poem is the seed of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's cultivation of love of God. Om Ajnanatimarandasya Ginandana Salakya Shakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So first of all, there is this desire tree, the Bhakti Kalpataru, the desire tree of devotional service. And anyone who somehow or other gets touched by a branch of this desire tree also gets the opportunity to render some devotional service. Because devotional service is a gift. No one can invent devotional service. Although sometimes devotional service is accidentally performed, still there is a devotee behind it. Just like that story of a rat who came onto the altar when the ghee lamp had sort of gone down and it was out, the fire was no longer burning but still glowing. And then that rat with the, this is called whiskers in English, this mustache, and with his whiskers, he went to the ghee lamp with the idea to eat the ghee, but his whiskers, they set fire to the lamp. In the next life he was a pujari. So, like this, sometimes it appears that devotional service is happening accidentally, but that is not the case. Because a devotee has done devotional service. And through that service of a devotee, there is more opportunity for devotional service. Just as the lamp was there because someone had worshipped. So in this way, devotional service is a gift of the devotees. That is the nature of the Bhakti Kalpataru and how the branches of this transcendental desire tree grow. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur calls the Bhakti Kalpataru, he calls it the Kalyana Kalpataru, or the auspicious desire tree. Kalyan is auspicious. And he is saying that I have received this auspicious desire tree from my spiritual master. But then I didn't take care of it very nicely. It's like, I don't know about in your country, but in my country, when I was in school, at one point they gave us a bulb of a hyacinth, you know, and you had to water the thing, and then a plant had to grow with and flowers and so on, and they would give prizes for the best one. It was a miserable thing because it had to be straight, but the plant always grows towards the light, and then you have to turn it around every day. It just doesn't want to get straight again. So mine were hopeless. What can I do? Anyway, so in the same way, we receive the Bhakti Kalpataru. We receive this wish-fulfilling desire tree of devotional service. And then, yes, after some years, well, you know the title of that book, What Went Wrong on the Way to Heaven? Something. How did it happen? After some years of looking after the Bhakti Kalpataru, the tree doesn't look as nice anymore as it looked in the beginning. In the beginning, first class, when you received it from the spiritual master, it was such a nice gift. It was the gift of pure devotional service. It was the gift of love of God. Yes, still in the form of a sprout, but it was understood. Just water it simply, and soon it will flourish and produce all the fruits. But now, that same tree doesn't look like it did before. But then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that, he said, this is due to my harsh mind. This is due to my mind. He said, but the Vaishnavas are the caretakers of the tree of devotional service. Therefore, returning to the Vaishnavas, we restore our devotional service. So this is really a wonderful thing. Each time we come to the Vaishnavas, their devotional service is being restored. When it became dry, when it became shriveled up, when a branch started to grow in the wrong direction. I liked the end of Maharaj's class this morning when he said that Mama Vartmanu Vartante means everyone goes my path in all respects. He said, but some go in the wrong direction. I thought that was interesting. And I thought about it. And there is a thing that said, there's another verse where it says, all are worshipping me. Those who are worshipping the demigods are also worshipping me, but they're doing it avidipurvakam. They're doing it in the wrong way. So that might be the authorization for going the wrong direction. Mama Vakmani Vartate and Avidi Purvakam. Yes, so, but then the devotees, they are the caretakers of devotional service, and that's what we do together. And everything else, well, that we also do. We may talk some pajalpa together, we may, but still, that's not important. That is not important. It's the moment that we are engaged together in transcendental activity. That is the time that really is rejuvenating us and is giving us new spiritual strength. So Lord Chaitanya is, he is becoming the tree of devotional service. He is also the transcendental love of Krishna, the fruit of the tree. And he is also, at the same time, the one who is cultivating this tree for growing. Because Lord Chaitanya came into this world and he gave his instructions to Rupa and Sanatan, and he danced, and just by his ecstasy, by his love of God, everyone was amazed. People became transformed. There are those descriptions that Lord Chaitanya would go to South India and he danced in kirtan, and people would also come and dance in kirtan and become ecstatic, and they would go back to their village, and then the whole village, upon seeing these people, would start to dance and chant and become ecstatic, and like that, all of South India became touched by the ecstasy of Lord Chaitanya. Srila Prabhupada said, preaching is very easy. You just show people how happy you are. Easy, isn't it? Very easy. All you have to do is be happy. So this is the interesting contrast, you know, that we find such the philosophy of happiness, and yet the mind is not always satisfied. And then what to do? It's clear then, it is clear that simply engage in devotional service. No, but I tried that. Didn't work. Do more devotional service. I tried that also, and I became overworked. Don't worry, when you become overworked in devotional service, rest a bit and then do devotional service again. Right? Everyone gets overworked sometimes in devotional service. That's fine. That's all right. That's human. Because our capacity has been reduced due to the fact that we are identifying with the material body. We see in the acharyas who were not identifying with the material body that they could do amazing things. They could practically not sleep, they could practically not eat, and they could just go on and on and on. And we tried it for one night and then totally finished. For days, it takes days to get over it, somehow or other. Our identification with the body is so strong that we are not identifying with Krishna. But the acharyas, they operate on ecstasy. They operate on great transcendental ecstasy. And when one operates on ecstasy, then it is easily possible to overcome one's material difficulties. So, in our current state, because we are so conditioned, so covered, therefore everything that happens to the body we experience it as a big thing. But actually, it is rather the opposite. The body is a very insignificant thing. It exists for a very small time. And then, whatever we do in that body is, it's not going to make a big difference. It's like, I'm writing a book. Wow, that's amazing. For how long will it exist? Until the worms will eat it. Until I have a cupboard in Amsterdam with some old winter clothes, and I just got a letter this morning that the worms have eaten all my clothes. Okay. Some sort of strange worms are eating your clothes. Okay. Anyway, time for new ones. Distributed to the worms. Anyway, the worm of time. So, how significant is everything? I like to use the example of ants, and because ants, right? Ants I find interesting because ants are always working. Have you ever seen an ant on holiday? And did you ever see some ants lying on the beach, sunglasses? No question. Ants have no time for that. Ants are working. Always working. Why are ants always working? I don't know. Well, they want sugar, That's for sure, Life is all about sugar. Someone's told me, but I'm not sure if it's scientifically confirmed, that they make alcohol of the sugar. Could be, wouldn't surprise me. I mean, all those alcoholics have to take birth somewhere. But, where will they go in the next life? But leaving that aside, ants are always working. So, whatever, that means that whatever they're doing is very important to them. They take themselves very serious, very serious. Otherwise they'll take a break, No, there's no time for a break. We have to work. So they take themselves extremely serious. And do we take them serious? Like the ants, The ants are walking up and down, I mean, to us it doesn't have much meaning, ants, the work they're doing. It doesn't make you feel like the world depends on the work of the ants. Right? But then, the work of human beings, that's a different matter. That is very significant. So, we are just like that. We are having ants' dreams, big dreams of what we desire, what we wish to be, what we need, what we feel. And no, but I really feel it, yes. Thinking, feeling, willing, isn't it? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, these are functions of the mind. The mind, yes, the mind. The mind has stolen the thinking, feeling and willing away from the soul. And now that thinking, feeling and willing has become misdirected. When the soul awakens through this chanting, through this devotional service, then our original love for Krishna again awakens. Yeah, Lord Chaitanya's name is Vishwambar, the one who maintains the entire universe. And he's saying, maintaining the universe means that one must give all living beings love of God. If you don't give someone love of God, you're not maintaining them. So did you think about it that way? Do you have a dog? Are you maintaining the dog? Are you giving it love of Godhead? Then your dog must eat only Krishna Prasadam. Because dogs are in Anamai, they don't chant. I mean, you can, Lord Chaitanya made a dog chant Hare Krishna. But that is described in the Adi-lila, how Lord Chaitanya was feeding coconut pulp to a dog and told the dog, chant, chant, and the dog would chant in a deep voice. But ordinarily, dogs don't chant. Ordinarily, it is through food. So, if we are maintainers, like Vishwambara, small ones, then we should maintain all our dependents by giving them love of God. Simple, but brilliant. Oh, nice. Everyone. So everyone who's within reach, that means. We are the maintainer of everyone who's in reach. The neighbors also. Did the neighbors already get prasad? Did they? That's good. And the ones next door to that, there's no end to it. But that is the spirit, somehow or other. So we can see that this spirit of Vishwambara, the spirit of maintaining the whole universe, that's a devotee. Devotee is not thinking about me and my house and my dog and my cat and my canary and my fence. Nice. All these things, my children, my car, my house, my garden, my flowers, my canary, yes, my fridge, yes, and my fence, my gate, yes. This dog with the big teeth, also mine. Now, a devotee is thinking Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam means that the whole world is my family. The whole world. Everyone is my family. Not only like my family. It's Christmas time and then the whole world is like, oh my family, family. Yes, what's your name? Emily from the family. So, totally into family life. Yes, and coming together and, we are a family. And, there is love in the family. But why does the family stop at the fence? Why does it stop at the fence? The family extends beyond the fence. When we put fences, then we begin to think small. When we include people and exclude people, sorry, very sorry, but you are not welcome. That is the exclusive mood. That is the mood of not opening to others. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Srila Prabhupada explains that, yes, oh my little child, yes my darling, come here. And that, go away, you monster of the neighbors. Little sweetheart. Why? All are Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The whole world, one family, that spirit. That is the spirit of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is Krishna. Krishna sees like that because when we become devotees, we realize our true family lineage. Years ago, before I joined Krishna consciousness, I was traveling in India and I came to Gaya, the place where Lord Chaitanya got initiated by Iswarapuri. And I visited there. And I stayed overnight in a dharamshala, and I could stay for free, but I had to write in the, I had to fill out the guest register. So I was filling it out, and then it said, "What is your gotra?" So I thought, gotra? My gotra? I go, so what do you say, so? What's your gotra? I said, well, in my country they don't really, it's basically aboriginal or tribal, you know. So they basically made me write like that I was tribal, which then, you know, from the tribes of the Netherlands. Yes, what to say, the European tribes and uncivilized people. At that time, I didn't know what is my gotra. But now, what is our gotra? Achyuta. Oh, yeah. What does that mean? Okay, what does it mean?
Krishna's family.
Krishna's family, yes. It means we are Krishna's family. So, there you go. If you celebrate Christmas with Krishna's family, that's a big Christmas, undoubtedly. Because everyone in the world is part of Krishna's family. So that's immediately quite a challenge, because it means that all differences between people are dissolved. Suddenly no more barriers. We can no longer, the Dutch can no longer say the Belgians, the English can no longer say the Irish, the Czechs can no longer say the Slovakians, the Russians can no longer say the Ukrainians. You can't point at anyone anymore. Yeah. I won't say anything about Serbs and Croats. That's too sensitive. No, but the point is that party spirit is gone. So in our scriptures, this party spirit is very much condemned. It is sometimes described, sometimes referred to as pasu buddhi, the intelligence of the animal. How the animals are, looking at each other and bark at each other, or dogs and cats and so on. So this movement is really meant, like Srila Prabhupada would like those words, you know, cats and dogs. He would oftentimes call people cats and dogs, left and right. People like cats and dogs, like cats and dogs, like cats and dogs, like cats and dogs. Prabhupada said it so many times. Not just because he liked to say cats and dogs, but that he could see that that a lot of people are like cats and dogs. Very much so. So different relationships. Many psychology books have been written about relationships and the difficulty of relationships and how to make relationships work. Basically, how to get over the cats and dogs syndrome, how to get over the cats and dogs issues, how to come to a point of acceptance. It is a lack of acceptance. We don't accept others. We only accept ourselves. If I look around and I look at, do I love anyone? Well, I'm looking again, and well, and finally I come to the mirror and I said, oh yes. Yes. Do I love anyone? Well, a little maybe then. So this love means to accept, to begin to accept. You're okay. It's like you see it, you know, I use the example of children, like there's this boy and he has a little hammer and he is like hitting on something metal that makes a lot of noise, and he loves it, of course. The more noise, the better. And it drives everyone totally crazy. And the only one, the mother goes like, ah. He loves it so much. Right? And just because he loves it so much, it's so nice. Whereas to everyone else, it's like, oh, the little monster, you know, throw him out of the window or something. But so love includes acceptance, very much so, acceptance. And this is the most difficult thing. This is the most difficult thing, to accept people. So that we see in Srila Prabhupada this spirit of acceptance, accepting everybody, all kinds of people. Prabhupada was ready to deal with everybody. That spirit is required. So it's quite a change. Till what time was I supposed to go? What's the schedule? I always forget the schedule.
1:30.
1:30, thank you. Too many schedules, and then I change place, and then there's a new schedule, and I just get totally confused. It's summer right now. There's no doubt about it. It's a strange summer's day. So, that seat of devotional service. So a devotee begins like that, acceptance, and sees that everyone can be a devotee, everyone. No one is exempted. And it's just a matter of finding an entrance. It's not that, oh, here are all these people and they will never become devotees and only we somehow or other are devotees and nobody else is going to be a devotee and they're not interested. No, they're totally not interested. The problem is people are not interested in Krishna consciousness. Maybe in the 60s, when Prabhupada was here, at that time it was different because everyone had long hair and they were all sort of interested. But now nobody's interested. Nobody. Nobody. Just a few people, and that's us, you know. And the people out there, they're not interested anymore. No, they're not. They don't like Krishna consciousness anymore. No, it's not popular anymore. Everybody is interested. That is the spirit. It is sometimes we cannot find the interest. That's all. So they are interested. We just have to find the connection. Maybe we cannot find the connection, but something will connect them. For a lot of people, prasadam will do it. You know? Of course, you know, now there are vegans holier than thou, right? You know, because they will not take milk. Milk. Oh, gosh, milk. You know, the milk drinkers, you know, they are supporters of animal torture. Yes. The problem with the Hare Krishna movement is that they support cow slaughter. What do you think of that? Fortunately, there are some Hare Krishnas who've seen the light and who are converting and become a vegan. This is good news. What a relief. What do we do now? No more Mongol sweets. No more burfi. No more shrikant. No more pizza. Right? Tofu. Yeah. What about it? Well, it is a fact that ordinary people should definitely not take milk, because if they take milk, then they are indeed supporting the animal slaughter. When devotees take milk, they should offer it to Krishna. And when they offer that milk to Krishna, that cow, although it's suffering, makes eternal spiritual benefit. Realize this. After many, many births, that cow's milk is offered to Krishna. And that means that cow's spiritual life has begun. That cow is on the way out of the material world, even if it is right now in a horrible situation. Yeah. Not that that makes it good. Not that you say, okay, nice. No, we would rather protect all the cows. But how many cows can we protect in this day and age? So, of course, we should protect cows where we can. And we could do better at protecting cows. But ultimately, we should convince the world to protect cows. Because just a handful of people cannot protect all the cows. But the vegans, they are not taking the milk. And maybe, because they don't drink milk, there will be a little less need for milk. And who knows, if a lot of people become vegan, there will be less cows slaughtered. So that's good. Say, if at best, granting, if a lot of the world becomes vegan, maybe there will be less cows slaughtered. That's good. So they get good karma for that. But good karma is not good enough. It's not transcendental. So offering milk to Krishna is always auspicious. They cannot understand. We can understand. I hope. I hope that we can understand the benefit of offering things to Krishna. Because what's the point? Relief from temporary suffering, very good. But not good enough. But eternal benefit is the only thing that's really beneficial. That's the only real benefit. Therefore, buy milk and offer it to Krishna. Of course, if you can have milk from protected cows, better. Better. But milk, we should not stop milk. And we should not be afraid of vegans. We can tell them. And whether they understand or not, we've never been worried about that, whether people will understand us or not, right? Many people over the years didn't understand what we were talking about. Many of us, the first time, many devotees have said, the first time I saw the Bhagavad Gita, I looked at it, I didn't understand a word. Whoa, what's that? Doesn't matter, it's transcendental. So, cow milk will stay. There is no question of not offering milk to Krishna. Krishna and the cows go together. And those cows who are otherwise not in a good position, they get a lot of benefits. That's interesting. Transcendental movement. And then, so we must be ready to accept people. So for the vegans, we give them some vegan prasad. After a while, we sneak a little milk in there. And it works, don't worry. I became a vegetarian on the way to India. Yeah, and then I came after a 9 months journey. I came back to my own country, and I was a vegetarian. And at that time, all the vegetarians in the Netherlands, they were macrobiotics. So the macrobiotics are the predecessors of the vegans. It's the same thing. Tofu, seaweed, and God, all kinds of brown rice, of course. You chew it and it's like gummy, you know. It bounces right back up. Things like this. And lots of chickpeas, you know, so the air was not always what you would want it to be. But anyhow, what can I say? Right? It was all about yin and yang, you know, and milk was forbidden. Yeah? There was no milk. But you know, in the summer, every macrobiotic would, well not every, but most, would sometimes eat some ice cream. How can they not fall down? Huh? How can they not fall down when they don't chant Hare Krishna? You understand? It's like they may be so convinced, no milk. But we know very well that determination cannot stand. We know that determination falls over. Yeah? I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. Anyway, you know, it's forgotten. Yeah. I saw this cartoon of a man who comes into the living room, and he wears like saffron robes, and he says to his wife, he said, look, I found my ashram clothes from the 70s, they still fit. Time, you know, time changes everything. You start out vegan and you end up, you know, somewhere totally different. Totally different. Look at punks, you know, they used to have spikes here, this, that, everywhere, right? Real serious thing, rings to the crown, holes in the cheeks, kind of punks, right? But then the punks get married, and then it changes a little bit, you know, still, then it becomes trendy punkish dress, you know, like a little punky hairstyle, but not so many rings anymore, this, that, and slowly, they conform, you know, because that's what happens. Because how can you be fixed if you don't chant Hare Krishna? There's no question, no question. Chanchalam himana Krishna, because there's no faith. There's no faith that it will really make me happy. I drink no milk. You also. Me also. How many years didn't you drink any milk? 17 years no milk. I see. I mean, you get some energy from feeling better than others, holier than thou. But that's not enough for a lifetime. It all becomes hollowed out. It will not give the satisfaction. Because satisfaction only comes from selfless service, from giving mercy to everyone. Then there is satisfaction. Unless that is there, it cannot be. So there's something right in trying to do good for others. There's something right in that. And that we should also appreciate. We care. We also want to try and relieve the suffering of the world. But it will only be possible if people change. People have to change. It's like, I was once in Australia and in the States, I was on traveling Sankirtan and I stayed in a motel and I looked out of the windows and I saw all these little calves being taken to a train. And I felt like what to do. I felt like letting them escape. Right? Sneak in there and let the calves escape. But then I thought, where can they escape to? There is no escape for them on the whole planet. I mean, where can I hide them? Right? Put a whole herd of calves in my room. Morning check out of the motel, we're followed by my husband. How many pets can you have? So that's like a problem. It's a problem. In fact, I know one devotee, he did exactly that. He saw a calf and he thought, oh, this calf is too nice. And he stole the calf. He just took it. He took it out of the field and just took it home. Anyway, you know, it's the whole thing, right? Stealing cattle. Get arrested for that and so on. Yeah. What to do? I was ready to buy the car. Anyway, Temple didn't want to have the car. What to do? It's not so easy. So, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, to accept the whole world as our family and to become the well-wisher of our transcendental family. That is what I think the significance of our being here today. I think that's why we're here. Instead of being home with our family, now all the families are together, spending some time together. They travel from all over the world to unite and spend some little time together now. And we have done the same. We've traveled all from far to come here, because this is our family. This is our true family, and there's no limit to our family. The Achyuta Gotra. This Achyuta Gotra, it's growing and growing and growing. And that's exactly when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was becoming a devotee. Then all the Vaishnavas said, Gotram Vardhanam iti, let our Gotra increase. Let our Gotra increase. So this is our mantra, let our Gotra increase. Let our family grow, the family of devotees. And when we really start to see everyone like that as a potential devotee, then we'll find it. And you can see, Srila Prabhupada was ready to do anything. In the beginning, Sanskrit lessons, then he started Sanskrit lessons. After 1 week his students were not interested anymore. Alright, Prabhupada changed. Mridanga lessons, somehow or other, keep people busy, keep them engaged, keep them connected. That was his spirit. And that is Sankirtan. Find something. Find something that interests people in Krishna consciousness. Something. So that they'll make a connection. This is our point. And yes, the book is a turning point. The book, the point where they take the book and read the book, that's a big turning point. Then they start to take in a lot. But whatever little bit of attraction we find in people, that is Sankirtan. And in that way, Sankirtan is is miraculous because people get attracted. Every year we have our now called King's Day Festival in Amsterdam, and then at one point people just get spontaneous, and they just start dancing by the hundreds or more, like 400 or 500 karmis start dancing, like really dancing, seriously. And they have the fun of their life, You just, they're having so much fun, and you just look at these people having so much fun, and you know that they'll never be the same again. They cannot have so much fun in Krishna consciousness and not come back again to Krishna consciousness. Surely they'll come back again to the devotees after so much fun. So that's all it takes. Something that attracts. And in this way, our family will increase. So, any questions? Because now it's getting late. We call it a seminar. I just give a lecture because it's too lazy to develop a seminar. But I hope it was okay. And went to prepare for a seminar. On the plane, I was sleeping on the plane. It was night. In South Africa we had a festival there also. So, a seminar is nice. But to just spend some time speaking about Caitanya-caritamrita. What's better than that? That is our business. So now any questions?
I want to ask you, spoke that we should appreciate every devotee as a family member, but sometimes, we don't love each family member, the same, just moving strangely, and he's dancing, in a total different way. I like, how to see, because we are, really different,
Yeah.
And then, so how to see that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like when we speak about the family, the Krishna conscious family, we should not project the mundane family relationships on the spiritual family. Like, I don't know how it's in your family, but in my material family, come on, this one doesn't want to sit next to that one, and that one wants to talk to this. It's a whole, Christmas wasn't a simple thing, I remember that. It was a whole thing, who can sit next to who, and then who sits in between, and like, this uncle not too close to that one because they're going to fight, and the whole thing. So to manage a family is not so easy. So sometimes to manage the Krishna conscious movement is also not so easy. But that's only because we are not, we are ourselves not transcendental enough. When we are very transcendental, then we see that, yes, these people are a little strange. You think that Prabhupada didn't see that these Americans or these Western devotees were a little strange? Of course he saw that they were strange. You thought he wasn't seeing that, he saw it immediately. But, he just tolerated that because he could see, because they're chanting Hare Krishna. They're chanting Hare Krishna. It doesn't matter that they're strange, they're chanting Hare Krishna. Very nice. Remember in Glasgow, there was this program and it was packed and packed and packed, and there was a question and answer session at the end, and one man came forward, and then he had a question, and he said the whole thing in the microphone, and at the end he said, "I am God." And Prabhupada said, "Oh, you have anything more to say?" And the man said, "No, that's it." And somehow or other, exactly like you are laughing, the whole theater was also laughing, right? And clapping. Everyone was cheering and yeah. And then, as a result, and then the man himself started smiling, and he just walked away and admitted in this way defeat. So after that, the whole mood became so ecstatic. And then there was a kirtan. And that kirtan was just out of this world. And it was on the stage, and the whole theater was just going wild. And devotees, there were guards on the door, but the devotee guards, they were so attracted to the kirtan, they also joined in the kirtan. And then there were these little street kids. And these little grubby, dirty street kids, and they all came into the hall, and they also joined in, and they started jumping also in the kirtan, and they tried to climb on the stage, and then the devotees, they grabbed them and started throwing them off the stage, you know. It's like, you know, like. And Prabhupada said, no, they are devotees. They are devotees. So Prabhupada saw devotees. Because they're chanting Hare Krishna. So we must be really like seeing anybody who chants Hare Krishna, whether they dance strange. All of us are dancing strange. Huh? Who dances like Lord Chaitanya? Huh? I don't. I have a funny shuffle and people have imitated me many times to make fun of me, so I know it. I do this. What to do? What to do? Who doesn't dance strange? Let's see. Lord Chaitanya, Gauranataraj. Oh, who can dance like Lord Chaitanya? So elegant, throwing himself in the air. But anyway, like I met Krishna Caitanya-caritamrita, and I sort of, when I arrived, and I said, "So, well, how's it going? How's the new ashram, this, that, something like that? How's the new lifestyle, I think?" He said, "Well, I'm still practicing the Swami step." So we're all still practicing the Swami step, you know. It's a different dance. I used to dance a little different. So, now, yes, to accept the whole world as our family, oh, we have to become so generous. And we have to have so much faith in the holy name. If we have really strong faith in the holy name, then we can be generous. Even when the monkeys are chanting Hare Krishna. The monkeys are chanting Hare Krishna. Good monkeys. Right? Yes. Look at this, you know. The Dutch are now chanting Hare Krishna. The Dutch. That's the lowest country on the planet. It's even below sea level. You can't take a lower berth than the Netherlands. You know, it's the lowest berth, what can I say? But even they're chanting Hare Krishna. And in Amsterdam, of all places, even in Amsterdam, they're chanting Hare Krishna. So when they chant Hare Krishna there, they can chant Hare Krishna everywhere, for sure. Then what to speak in Bratislava, which is much higher. Stockholm, elevated place. Norway even higher. Yes. So surely, everywhere there are devotees. And this is... So the holy name will change everything. And when we see that, then we can tolerate. Just as they say, what's the point of criticizing someone for being dirty when they're taking a shower? So, what's the point of pointing out faults in someone when they chant Hare Krishna? More questions? Yeah. That's okay.
Maharaj, as you were talking about acceptance, this is one way of showing love for others. But I was thinking, Prabhupada once said, if you love Krishna, you love everyone. So on our sentimental, so to say, platform of loving and not loving Krishna, how we could try to follow this, what Prabhupada said.
Yeah. Well, love for Krishna is something that is awakening in us, and it begins slowly, like a little bit of love for Krishna. Right? We are here, because, well, like if you would try and convince a materialist, let's go, we're going, where are you going? We're going to a temple, and it's like many devotees will come and obey the deities, and no, they are not interested, they're not attracted. But because devotees have a little love for Krishna, they are attracted. So there is love here, there is love, there is. It may not be fully developed, like rolling on the ground and hair standing on end, or deep, deep love, deep compassion, but the beginning is there. And therefore, still there's something special going on in exchanges between devotees, in the temple, and so on. It is all the beginning. It is growing. That love is, the seed of that love is planted in our hearts, and it is being watered. And somehow or other, it is growing. It is growing. So, in that way, well, as far as love of God, I must say, the latest news is, it's going very well. Going very well. I read the papers. And it says the latest news in regards to love of God, it's going very well. Very well. It's spreading everywhere. Touching more and more people, who are little by little becoming transformed. Tapas. Where's the mic? Who stole the mic? I don't know. Das Mikrofon. Wo ist das hin? Das muss dann mal schnell. Kannst du unter Tapas drücken? Okay.
So, this Gurudev song, so the Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there's one sentence he says, Gurudev, please invest in me the power to properly honor all living entities. But he uses the word properly. It may be different for different living entities. So, in one purport in Bhagavatam, also Prabhupada quotes Vishnu Thakur that for example, use a very graphical example of a tiger. So you honor, for example, devotees by offering obeisances, so you embrace them, but you don't include the tiger in the family by embracing it. So could you say a little bit about this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people who are like tigers, or there are people who are envious, and or people who are under the influence of the lower modes of material nature. And although our love is directed towards them, it may not be possible for them to stay immediately in the close association of the devotees. Someone who is, therefore we have house rules, 4 regulative principles must be followed on this property. To keep some sanctity for ourselves, so that we have a place which nourishes us. But mercy is given to all. Mercy is given to the tigers. And nowadays it's very fashionable to be a tiger. You see these advertisements from this company, Accenture. Come on, be a tiger. It's a big thing. Be a tiger. So, yes, the world is about. It is a world where you go after your goal with great force, and that is encouraged. And humility and submissiveness and respectfulness are qualities that are far from this modern culture. So we deal with people who are sometimes inconsiderate, who are harsh, who may have so many qualities that are not nice. So such people, still, we give them the mercy, and they can change. But until they have changed to an extent, they may not be able to live with us. But they can visit us, they can take prasadam, and if they're too drunk and they can't take it here, but then we'll go to a festival where they are, and then we give it to all the drunks. Like I went to Woodstock, to the Village of Peace, and then the Village of Peace is huge, right? But then next to it is the beer camp, which is 3 times bigger, right? And then some people from the beer camp walk into the Village of Peace. And so one day Jagai and Madai walked in, and Madai had dreadlocks and he had tied empty beer cans in his hair like a Christmas tree. And Jagai was wearing a crown of an old cardboard box with empty bottles upside down, like that, on his head. And they were both holding bottles. So that's how they walked in, and I wanted to give them a contract when I saw them. And wow, they are perfect for the movie. But then 15 minutes later I saw how Madai was feeding Jagai papadams from a plate prasada. Then I knew everything is under control, right? Even Jagai Madai are becoming devotees. So, like that, we have these festivals where we go to such people and we give them mercy. And many of us were also such people before. And we know how you can change and how quick it can go. So many of these people can actually become devotees. Because Prabhupada says this movement can turn crows into swans. And that is what will happen. So it's a big. So yeah, we have to go out to all these people. Even and we go in the bars and we go everywhere and approach all kinds of people. And give them the mercy. And some of them, some of them became devotees, like me. Okay, I'll stop that. Thank you, Tapas. So Tapas is very nice. He's looking after the preaching in Stockholm. And Stockholm is nice, and if you just think Hare Krishna Center in Stockholm, it's very nice. Nice devotees. Especially Nityananda's appearance day is very good. That's sort of coming in Stockholm is one of the best. They have one professional actor who is very good, and he has created a whole drama group by now and a whole drama culture, and they do very good dramas, authorized and very nice. So, if you wonder where to go on Nityananda's appearance day, Stockholm is a good place. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Kadamba Kanana Swami ki jai.